everyone, this is Daryl20, and welcome to episode 42 of Daryl20's Let's Play of ATM10 to the Skies. Hope you guys brought your towels today, because it's episode 42, you know, one of my favorite numbers. And I'm noticing a lot of orange names in there that are taking a really long time to die. Because my Celesta Gem Sword, at the orange level, world tier, just ain't cutting it. So with that in mind, I thought to myself, well, one of the reasons I chose this is it's power-based, and that's pretty cool. Why don't we do something along the lines of making better weaponry? So I think that's the plan for today. Also, it just so happens that Chapter 3 is now available in the ATM to the Sky system, and that's all about all the modium, or all the modium, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I like saying all the modium, because it just, you know, it's funny to me. But everybody always yells at me for calling it that. And they're like, nah, it's modium. Okay. But all the modium is funnier. Look at that. Quest's completing already. Booyah. So that gets me a few more nuggets. 5 levels. It's so hard for me to not do this, but also it's like, you know, effort. So anyway, I got you and you up and running. So a little extra modium, if you will. What I was thinking we could do is take a look at some of the tools and stuff we can get. But I really want to rapidly get to like either vibranium or an obtanium. So like, what's the deal with getting this? So getting vibranium is going to be a little trickier, right? We need to get uraninite geor to get vibranium. And then we also need elite crafting tables tier 3 to get vibranium, I assume. So let's look into all that, right? So getting you should be a thing, and then getting you should be a thing, right? Which I guess is that. I guess we're going to need more nether stars. We never really automated those, and we probably should start looking at that. So automating nether stars might be an immediate task. Uraninite geor seems to be doable. And then to get vibranium, put the crystalline ingot in the middle slot, then surround it with a bunch of geor shards. Which shards? Just quartz, iron, gold, diamond, emerald, uranium, and 2 uraninite. Finally, we have vibranium. So it sounds like we're going to need this recipe to be a thing. Can I bookmark that recipe? Can I like bookmark a recipe? Like I can do, I guess I can't. I thought I could. Every other tab has that option except for this one. That's a bummer. Look, everyone else has it. Everyone else has that option except for this one. So anyway, I guess we need a bunch of geor shards, which they're really easy to get with like the whole compressed sand thing. So that shouldn't be a problem. We just need to get, elite tier crafting so we can at least make the crystalline ingots, and we should probably automate nether stars. So let's go down this path a little bit today. We already have our ender crafters, so that's cool. Let's look at nether star automation. So how do we want to do that? Because like obviously, we could do this. We could automate killing the wither. There's ways to do this, right? I guess Dyer's going to take a minute on his own to think for a second about how he wants to do this in a way that's entertaining and different from like the millions of ways we've done this before. All right, I think I'm going to do like a fun, probably not super efficient, but still fun wither spawner / killer machine that we can improve over time. So if I want to do this the super boring way, I would literally just do this and call it a day, right? Like, oh, I'll just go kill a couple withers off camera, have a weather prediction, and we're done. And then we'll have unlimited nether stars, and it would be easy. Is that entertaining YouTube content? I'm going to say no. I'm going to do something a little bit more fun. I'm going to use just dire things to build a wither spawner with placers. Use a sensor to make sure we don't have too many withers going on at once. And then use a clicker to kill them with an Eclipse Ally sword, and an item collector to pick up the drops, and probably an XP collector as well. That said, I should be able to improve this over time. I will get better weapons so we can kill him faster, and then I will get a paradox machine so that we can spawn him with lower health and basically make him a one-shot. So, like, remember how quickly, I think it was like 2 or 3 series ago. If you didn't watch that, you'll find out in this one. We can basically, like, spawn the Wither with, like, 1 hit left. And we can have him spawn in, like, under a second. So he can just be like, boom, 1 hit dead. Boom, 1 hit dead. And we were, like, creating, like, nether stars like crazy. But to get to that point, we're going to need time crystals and a paradox machine, which we don't have yet. So I'm going to start with this, and then get better weapons through the vibranium and stuff we're about to do, and then get into time crystals eventually and paradox machine it. Is that cool? Think that sounds like more entertaining than this, right? So removing that from the to-do list, and we're jumping straight into our dude here, which is where we're going to set up stuffs. Okay, so very basically, what I want to do is have you, and then we're going to have a couple clickers. Okay, and then your job will be to go in this direction so that you're spawning. Let's do one more back. Is that cool? And you're going to go up a level, and then you're going to go on the X, and that's where you're going to place wither skeleton skulls. Okay, but you're only going to place when you have a high signal, and you're only going to place every 2 seconds. Pretty sure that's about how I want to handle this. Okay, now we're going to need to pop back and forth here because I don't have like cross-dimensional stuff going on yet, but we're going to want some flux points, and we're going to want some ultimate energy cables, and we're gonna want some soul sand, of which we don't have a ton just yet, and we're also gonna want wither skeleton skulls, which we do have a lot of. Why do I have so many wither skeleton skulls? I am doing that with these things, aren't I? The boring way. Probably not super fair to call it the boring way, but you know what I mean. Where am I getting wither skeleton skulls from? Are they even still coming in? 1776 is what we've got. I'm assuming that I had a loot fabricator handling this at some point. And this place. There it is. Oh, look at you. That's where the mobs are coming from. You know what? Every now and then, mobs are showing up at my mob spawner. Like, getting out, I thought they were. And I'm like, how are they getting out of my mob spawner? What's going on? This is what's going on. Alright, so yeah, you were doing that, and you were doing that. So if we look at, like, wither skeleton skulls, or wither... Yeah, you're in a superior state. So if I pop you back in there, you're going to go back to making that thing. And then you're presumably getting wither skeleton skulls via an export bus, right? Or not the skulls, but the prediction, because it doesn't matter what prediction's in there for export. It's just gonna be cool. Why are you not importing? You are an import-export bus. You should be importing. We're not like full or anything, are we? Wait. You should be importing your skulls. Yeah, not even close. Is it because you're moving so quick? Yeah, it was because he was moving so quick. Because I had him tick accelerated. I think it tries to export, and if it can, it's done working until it can't export anymore, maybe? So, that might have been a thing? I don't know. We'll see. Either way, that's how wither skeleton skulls have been going on. Go check that they're in drawers or something. Do I have something for you? Kind of? Yes? Apparently. And you'll get up to 8,000-ish? I feel like that's a pretty good number. I'm wondering if there was another wither skeleton skull spot somewhere. Is there another one that I'm just not seeing? Because, like, it should be extracted. Oh, yeah, there is. There's 2. All right, so we've got plenty of room for wither skeleton skulls. We're good, right? So let's get a stack of them and get ready to build this doohickey. Do I have everything I need? Let me double check. Let me get my bricks out because I put them away. All right, so what I'm thinking is we'd have these dudes in here, right? Um, and we're gonna need them to like make their way into here, but we'll get there when we get there. What I want you to do is I want you to allow list soul sand for where you can place wither skeleton skulls. Okay? And you're going to need a high redstone signal. So here's the deal, right? Without that, remember, withers won't build if you place the skulls before you place the soul sand. So by saying you can only place on soul sand means it'll wait for the soul sand to exist before placing the wither skeleton skulls there. Meaning the wither skeleton skulls will always go down last, which sounds cool to me. Do. So like even if I tell this dude ignored, he ain't gonna place nothing. Cool. Now for you, you're going to be let's see, because I want you to equally be. I might need 3 of these, don't I? Do I need 3 placers? Because I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can filter on what it's allowed to place on. I don't know that I can easily, right? So I think I need 3 placers. Do I need 3 placers for this? I guess so. Because like I can only build like a squarish type dude. The only other way to do it would be to like place some kind of blocks there that the wither can't build or can't break. But like I don't know if that's the right play. Yeah, let's get another placer. I think that's probably like the easier slash better approach. Because that's not hard to do. Okay, so you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna go there, right? But you're gonna go down a Y level. Okay, so then you're gonna go like that, and that, and you're just gonna always place. Cool. And then you're gonna go like that and not be expanded, and then you're also gonna always just place. Cool. And then we want a sensor. And the basic gist of the sensor will be, let's make sure that there's not already a wither there, and that'll stop this thing from placing, right? So what I'll probably do is make you a low signal and get a lever. Let's do that, because I think that's the smarter play. So I'm going to have you be low, and if I put you on, you shouldn't be placing anything, right? Correct. Right. So then you can like emit a redstone signal. And in fact, I'll probably just put you right here so I don't have to mess with, that's the clicker. I want the sensor. This, yes, boom. Cool. And then you're going to go like that-ish. That seems pretty cool. So basically, if there's any entities inside this area, that'll be a problem. Okay. And you're checking for, I guess the wither counts as living, right? Greater than 0, right? So if it's greater than 0, you're going to emit a redstone signal, preventing this guy from running, right? So we can demonstrate that by just me going in there with some redstone. Okay. If we temporarily expand this sensor such that it's including here. See, redstone signal on, redstone signal off, redstone signal on, redstone signal off. And it checks every 1 second, which is sufficient, I think. We could shrink it down, right? Redstone signal on, redstone signal off, redstone signal on, get it? So like any number of entities in there at all, meaning withers, we disable that. Okay. So then we can shrink that back down. So that's a more realistic room area. And then finally, we're going to want our clicker. And the clicker is going to get our sword, which we could probably go enchant real quick just to make life a little bit easier for ourselves. You know, a little bit of extra damage and whatnot. Couldn't hurt nothing. So you're going to get... now, technically, so we want scavenger, because that sounds cool, right? We definitely want looting, even though I don't know that it actually affects the wither, but who knows what the wither drops in this pack? I don't know. Now, sharpness versus smite, right? Smite's better than sharpness for a wither, right? I'm going to say it is, and I hope that I'm right about that. I don't know that I'm right about that, but I'm going to hope that I'm right about that. Okay? Cool. Okay. So now you're going to get that. And then the last piece of this puzzle is going to be an ender chest collecting the drops. In fact, I might put you here because that just sounds fun. Right? So let's turn off whatever sensor you are. I could probably copy it, right? I'm not going to bother copying it. We'll just do the thing. And then you're just going to pick up Is that cool? Any items inside that area of effect? Pretty close. We should go a little smaller on you and a little bigger on you. Technically doesn't have to be that big, but it doesn't hurt. And then we could do that. Is that cool? And that'll just pick up any items in that room and drop them right in there. So if everything's set up correctly, and we have the target hostile, and we want to left click and ignore redstone, we should be cool, right? So now, in theory, this is everything ready to roll, right? So I can turn you off. If I turn this off, and, I'm going to leave it on for a minute. I'm going to give you the wither skeleton skulls, and then I'm going to turn you off. Now, he's going to place more soul sand, but that's okay. I could disable these with the same redstone signal if I wanted to. But notice how it's not placing any more wither skeleton skulls? That's the key. Now, why aren't you attacking? Oh, right, because I didn't area of effect you. So what I should do... that, right? And then we've got another star. Sweet. And now, because there's no more entities in there, living entities, that is, he should be placing again, right? Because you're off, so you shouldn't be emitting a redstone signal anymore. Though you are. Why is that? Why are you still emitting a redstone signal? You're checking for living greater than 0. There ain't no livings in there, I promise. Does experience count as a living entity? Well, that's a thing. Does experience count as a living entity? Say what? Hooray! Is working. And then you're probably out of soul sand at this point, which is fine, right? Like, that's... So the goal will be, I'm going to put the soul sand and the wither skulls in here with, like, maybe laser IO or something, and then transfer it over to these dudes. As a result, I should probably have this guy on the right so that it's easier to transfer into these guys. And I should probably have you on the top, right? So I'll put you up top as, like, a... That's my, like, toggle it off dude. And then you can be here and shifted that way. And now we're good, right? How cool is that? I like it. I think it looks good. Okay. So you'll notice this guy isn't placing because there's no soul sand below them to place on. Haha, sneaky, sneaky. I like it. All right. So then let's get out of here and get some laser IO and get, you know, some other stuffs. So laser IO would be cool to have because we're going to want to transfer and keep in stock, right? And we have you, card holder. So let's just, what do we got over here that's like channel-y? I mean, like, I could just tap into you, right? I feel like that's a cool play. Should we just tap into you? Sure, why not? Do I want to do that here? Or maybe I just want to do it... Ah, don't do that. Nobody said that. Stop that. Okay, what we'll do is we'll do an interface. Okay. And then your job will be to keep in stock wither skeleton skulls and soul sand. Okay. And then you're going to have this dude and this dude. Let's do it like that. That should be cool, right? So then if I put you here, on the blue side, we're going to do an insert with a counting card, and we're going to do skulls and soul sand, 64 of each. Cool. And then on the east side, we will extract 8 at a time. And then we should get them all built up to 64 and then be done, all to 64 and be done. And then conversely, on this side, the white side, we will extract, and this we will set up to just be like super fast. So we'll do like a stack every 5 ticks, which should be plenty. And then on the east side, and we want that to be a different channel, so let's make that channel black. And then on the east side, we'll insert on black. Cool? How cool is that? Right? Good deal? I like that. I like that a lot, as a matter of fact. So now if we go back, that should be cool. And then we should be able to do something similar inside that room. Right? So your job will be to pick you up and put you here, because I forgot that I'm going to want that. And these guys were really just temporary as demonstration purposes. And then your job here can be you, right? And then you're going to insert keep in stock skulls. About 24. Does that sound cool? And then your job will be to insert keep in stock soul sand, 32. Your job will be to insert keep in stock soul sand, 32. And there's a copy and paste for laser IO, but I think it would have been taken a little longer to do that. And then your job will be to extract 8 items a tick every second. So then that should get that up to 32. That should get that up to 32. And then that'll get that up to 32. And then when I turn this off, we should now have a fully automated setup, right? And then you can actually go faster. You can run like every 15 ticks, and that should be fine. The only thing I might want to do figure out why he's not taking any damage. Oh, because yeah, there you go. Yeah, important part. We won't be able to see the star in there, but like, that's cool, right? I should probably throw an experience collector in there. So in theory, if I do this and we check for stars, we should see more stars showing up. So while I'm waiting, I'll make my experience collector dude from just dire things. And then we'll check stars. So if I just wait a minute, 6. Boom. Look, it's working. It's working. Now, ironically, we have wither skeleton skulls. We have more of those than we have soul sand available. So I want to get soul sand. And I think there's a trick I can try. I want to see, how hard is this to get? We're going to need soul lava buckets, and we're going to need one of each thing. So we're not going to be able to do this yet. But eventually, there are infinity cells for, like, stuff. I love the fact that there's an infinity cell for each die. That is cool, right? There's also infinity cells for things like andesite and diorite and granite and all that stuff. And then there's also ones for anything you can sieve. So like dirt, netherrack, endstone, sand, black sand, soul sand, right? In order to get them, you need a 256 mega storage, which we already have on autocraft. You need each of the adamantium ingots. You need soul lava. And most importantly, you need existing large number of stuff. But like 6x isn't that hard to get, right? I think that that's doable. So I think that's fine. How are we at for stars? So shortly we should have a 7th, I assume. In theory. You know what? The EXP was in the way. I could tell because as soon as I came in here, right, EXP was a problem. Okay, so that means what we're going to want to do... Which one of you is turned on at the moment? And then you can... Let's see, is that the large enough area? More on the... X, please. Like that? Is that the wrong direction? I thought that was the right direction. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was editing the wrong one. More on the X, please. And then that. And then if I set you to collect experience, he just picked it up. Cool. So not only are we getting more experience now, but like that's cool, right? Now I guess technically you could argue the point that we're kind of wasting soul sand by not turning these guys off when there's an entity. Yeah, probably not a great thing, is it? It's probably not great. So should we like disable these the same way? To do that, all I gotta do is like move this over and do like a redstone-y thing. Should be doable. Or I could keep it as is. And on the down, you can input redstone. And then you can output output. Is that cool? And then I just need to make you guys low and low. So now if I turn you off, see how he's not placing anymore? Cool. I like that. And then place. Boom. That is what's up. How what's up is that? Come on, that's gotta be better. That's gotta be better than doing this, right? That's more fun than this. That's a cooler build. My opinion. Right, so I leave and keep an eye on stars. Let's come back in a few minutes and see how many stars we accumulate. If we're like over, a dozen, I'm happy. All right, so the good news is pretty sure this is working. The bad news is now we need to automate soul sand, because as much as we've automated withers and their wither skulls and skulls, you know, the cheesy way, the boring way. I did withers. I did these boring, so I did the other one fun. We definitely need, look, 12 now. Perfect. It's working. We just need to automate soul sand. So like, yay for stars, need soul sand. Might now make another star generator. Probably want to increase the rate at which we're producing nether stars before I make another star generator, but we'll see. However, also wrapping up point. So Darryl20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll come back next time to maybe automate soul sand, maybe get another star generator, maybe look at making some vibranium. For now, take it easy.